Hello everyone, and welcome to the second half of the third module of how to start a startup. Let me recap the first part. So in the first part, we discussed how you can go about assessing if you need a co-founder or not. And if you are looking for a co-founder, what all things you should look for. So in this module, we'll discuss about building a founding team member. So let's understand. Building a founding team member is the next step the moment you have finalized who all could be your co-founder. And building a founding team members is also called as a finalizing the core team member. And everyone, in core team members, you should have people from these department like product, engineering, marketing, sales, operation. And certainly in the starting, I'll recommend you to have one person from each department. You need not to go with many people. So let's understand these all department. So everyone, here the role of product department is the one who can imagine the product which you as a founder wanted to build, and that person can put that product in a pen and a paper. That is the role of product engineer. Next is the tech. Engineering or a tech is a person who can make that product or build that product. And then next one, you need a marketing, the person who can market your product. And the next one is the sales, the individual who can sell your product, who should have a competency to sell the product. And the last you need in your core team members is operation. Operation means who can manage your customer. And I could say once the sales is done, then after that, any kind of queries, if it comes, that individual should have a competency to manage it and provides all the services or the product which you're offering it. So these 5 are the critical function, everyone. It's kind of mandatory thing which you need to have from the day one. But there are multiple other departments also there other than this, like legal department, HR department, admin department, finance department. And I'll strongly recommend that these departments in the starting stage, you can outsource it. You need not to keep everything from the day one. I hope you all clear. And I hope you all guys able to observe one pattern. We started this module with finalizing the co-founder, then your core team members. Core team members, the 5 functions which we discussed. So the next will be, we are going to discuss here the best hiring practices. What all things you should keep it in mind while hiring the candidate. Firstly, I strongly recommend this part to all the founders that you should always be hiring. What does that mean? It means you should never refuse meeting a smart individual, even if there is no openings. Why it is important? You know that the startup journey is not going to be always smooth. There is going to be so many ups and downs. Multiple times I have observed many of the founders, sometimes it comes to me also. Let's assume some of the people from the product team or from my core team, they have left. And then, the finding the right set of people really takes a lot of time. And if you have followed the first step, this always be hiring process, then things really become much easier. So in case if you're always meeting a smart individual, even if there is no opening, then you can always tell them politely, hey, currently the field which you are competent at, we do not have openings. But the moment opening comes, you will be the first to know. That's all. So anytime in the future, if you're looking for any kind of individuals with a similar role, you will have a person. So that's the reason I'll strongly recommend always be hiring. Second is create an employee brand. Here I will again recommend to create an employee brand from the day one. It's like nothing much you need to do it. Just create any of the platform and ensure in that platform all the peoples are there, and where they talk about the ideas, they talk about the company culture, they talk about the product which they are building it, etc. So if you do this particular thing, then really you will be able to create a great employee brand over the time. The third one is the hiring process. Here hiring process we follow a bit different as compared to the traditional one. So initially we see the value rather than initially itself by checking the people by resumes. We like seeing the value, whether the value is matching or not. And then after that, we keep a GMAT like a test where we analyze analytic aptitude, verbal reasoning, general awareness. And once this is done, then we usually keep a CV check, resume check, where all the skills which we are looking for individual have or not. And then next round is usually a function-based assignments which managers takes. And the last is a PI interview or face-to-face interview. So everyone, this is all about the hiring practices which you all can follow. Now, this part usually no one covers, but again, it's very important. So here I'll strongly recommend that along with hiring right, it's also important that you should fire right. What does that mean? It means that any individuals who is not performing for a very long time, keeping them in the company would be really, it's going to be the huge issue or problem for you or for the entire company. Or second, any particular candidates who is not following the protocols or who is involving in unethical activities, fraudulent activities. So for these kind of individuals, firing on the right time is very, very important. And there are a couple of things you should keep it in mind while firing these kind of individuals. So the first is you should never delay the firing. The moment you recognize, yeah, this particular candidate is not at all contributing anything for the long term, even after giving a lot of chance to improve, certainly you should not delay more. Second is, you should never fire someone and it surprise them. You should never do that. You should give them enough chance to improve, give them a feedback. That's very, very, very important. So I hope guys, you all understood. So in this entire module, we have discussed about how you can assess the co-founder and what all things you need to consider while figuring it out or while shortlisting the co-founder, and then how you can build your core team members or founding team members. And the last, we have discussed the hiring practices and the firing practices. So everyone, that's all about the second part of the third module, or in the next precisely module, we'll discuss about the founders equity and eShop. And if you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the next session. Also, after each session, we'll keep a separate session on Q&A. So please put your questions in the comment section if you have any. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Thanks for the watching.